Man, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to season 2, episode 5, technically, but this is episode 4 in a way. I'm your host, Dante Williams, and co hosting this show with me today is my brother, Jimmy Williams.
Yes, sir.
And I know we've been gone for a while. It seemed like forever, but hey, it's a new year, 2022, and
Mm-hmm.
we finna put in work this year.
Yes, sir. Let's get it started off.
So, we got to start off the show with a highlight from yesterday. Um, this is probably one of the best dunks posters I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
I'm
one of
gonna
the
pull
best.
it up, right?
One of the best. It's been a lot this season.
One
But
of the best.
yeah.
But I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Ball in the drive, dropped it off to Jalen Smith with the poster.
God.
Hey, so you rewind it and play it again. The best.
On that bench. Ooh,
The bench
Wait,
reaction.
rewind it. You gonna rewind it?
Yeah. The bench
Ball in
reaction
the
was the
drive,
best
dropped
for
it off to
me.
You
Jalen Smith
see Kevin
with
Payne.
the
You see, he
poster
fell on
on
it. You see, he fell on the
Wally.
floor.
And I don't care if he's there, and neither does anybody over on that bench. Ooh,
That was the
goodness.
best part of this dunk was their
ooh, and
reaction.
the full flex from the young fella.
Oh
Man,
my
that was crazy, but it's not more
Mhm.
crazier than what I'm finna show you with DeMar DeRozan.
Mm.
2 back-to-back game winners. He's the first player in history, I believe they said, to hit back-to-back game winners in consecutive days. So
Mm.
that's crazy to see. I got to pull it up right here. I'm gonna play it for everybody.
To save it. 1-point game. Final seconds. Bulls look for the win. DeRozan.
Hey, this was a wild shot, bro.
Off one leg.
This is a
one
wild
leg.
like
Off one leg.
I would have liked to know his thought process when he decided to like.
Oh my!
It's like he
goodness.
didn't know how he wanted to shoot it, and then he just kind of just threw it up. I'm just like, okay, but I
Like
mean,
off
when
one
you
leg, like he did it off the opposite leg. Like
that's what
like,
I'm saying. That wasn't his thought process when he came down there. I'm gonna do that one. It kind of just was like a feel thing, but like I said, anybody else can't throw no shot up like that besides like Steph and them. But that was a crazy ass shot. I ain't gonna lie.
And here go another one right here. This was against the Wizards a couple nights ago. I think what was crazy about this shot was he hit it like you just got to see for yourself. Like he hit it like over 2 defenders, I believe, in this one. But this one was crazier right here. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
White's inbound. Feeds DeRozan.
And you see they're trying to give it to Levine.
Pump fake for the win.
So
And again.
that
Like
I
how?
so that's like another questionable shot because it's like he got double teamed. So off initial reaction, he should have passed it to the right.
Right.
Because he had to pump fake just to even get that off. And it's like, you could have just passed it. But he was like, no, I'm a punt fake. And then, so he punt fake and both of them jumped, which if they would have stayed on their feet, it would have been a good defensive possession. And then he kind of just jumped as they was landing and just threw it up again.
And it looked like he like double cut like
yeah, I don't. DeRozan really took 2 bad shots and hit both of them. It is like, what can you? I'm not gonna sit here and say those are good. Those was good shots, but he made them. So I mean, what can you do? And I mean, I just hope it continue in the playoffs where he able to still knock them crazy ones down.
man.
It seemed like the Bulls, as far as closing the game, it could go to Levine or DeRozan, but lately it's been DeRozan. So
Yeah, you gotta expect his confidence at an all-time high right now. But speaking of DeRozan a little bit, so DeRozan is averaging 26 points a game, 5 rebounds and 4 assists, I believe. So
Mm-hmm.
where does he rank on your MVP ladder right now?
He definitely up there. Steph is still number one for me. DeRozan been playing good all season, but Steph been kind of, you know, killing for the most part as well. So I mean, it's definitely close. I would say Steph still got the edge. Um, DeRozan may be behind KD. With these past 2 games, he kind of getting that momentum to be over KD as far as like the top three and the MVP. So like the top three for me is Steph, DeRozan, KD. Um, as far as the MVP race go, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Steph right now. They still got the best record in the league, and then the thing with that is a lot of people have been alluding to it. The Golden State, outside of Steph, they don't really have no other star on their team, and it's kind of scary. They've been playing this well without Clay, who is look like he close to returning. I don't know if you've seen that video, but he has 24 straight threes.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we not even talking about James Wiseman or like a actual center. The Warriors really never had like a young athletic big like that, like with that much
Mm-hmm.
talent. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
scary to see. It's gonna be scary to see when Clay get back for sure, and then Wiseman. But another player returning soon too. They announced it earlier. Kyrie returning Wednesday versus the Pacers. So is Brooklyn now locked to win it all? What you think about that?
I mean, Brooklyn always in contention when them three guys are all on the court together. They contention is high even with KD and Harden. But you throw Kyrie back in there, they like I told you the other day, them three is hard to guard in a 7 game series. So Brooklyn definitely up there. As a Bulls fan, we all excited for them to be in the conversation as well. Just the Bulls making the playoffs happy for me, but I feel like they can compete with Brooklyn a little bit. Brooklyn still, I mean, they still got KD, Harden, and Kyrie, and those are like three of the top players. That's hard to guard 1-on-1, and to do that in the 7 game series, like I told you the other day, it's pretty difficult to guard them three. I mean, the Bucks, they got a good defensive team. Um, that's why people sleep on the Bucks. Like the Bucks, like Giannis is fun to watch, but I mean, people don't really like tune in the Bucks like that. Even though they just won a championship, but they kind of like a more grimy team on defense. Miami Heat too. That's why Miami won a lot of games because they defense and they pride themselves on being physical. So the only thing with Brooklyn is do they have enough guys to get in there and rebound against Giannis, try to slow Giannis down? Do they have anybody who can slow down Joel Embiid in the playoffs? Joel been playing like Joel should be also MVP, like top 5, in my
Mm,
opinion. And
nah, I think because of injury, but I
I
wouldn't
mean,
put
but
him like.
Joel been dominant all season. Like he's and the Sixers still got a winning record, and they don't have Ben Simmons. That's why I would give an edge to Joel. I mean, he been who been dominating at the center position more than Joel Embiid this season.
Jokic definitely been hooping
Nah,
over in
Jokic ain't
Denver.
been.
He been
Jokic
hooping in
ain't. He
Denver.
not been on the level as Joel.
Yes, he just had what 20 and 20 the other day. Like, like
But I
hey,
mean,
Jokic.
but who? I don't know who has the better record. I thought
I
Philly
think I
did.
want to say Denver, but I also want to give credit to Tyrese Maxey in Philly because he been hooping too. Uh, but
Yeah.
we still don't know what's gonna happen with Ben Simmons. That's a topic for another day until the trade actually happened.
So
So
who do you feel? Do you feel Brooklyn could take it all, or
that's the I
because
believe that's the favorite.
they defense and rebound is the only issue for me.
Yeah, I feel like if they can get, because we like it's kind of hard judging right now because at the trade deadline anything can happen. Like all Brooklyn, I feel like need is like a nice rebounding big, and they can be they the favorites now. But my only concern is Kyrie can only play away games, so it
They
might be
may
a
change their
time.
mind.
It might be yeah, it could. But I'm
I
saying
feel
it might be
like
a
I
time
feel
in the
like if they
playoffs,
close
like
if they close to win the ring, I feel like they'll kind of give
let
him
it happen.
some leeway as far as like playing in the Brooklyn arena. Some gonna happen where it's gonna be like, all right, well he can play. Um, but then also too with Milwaukee, still missing Brook Lopez, and that's been like a big
Yeah,
piece that they've missed this season. You can kind of tell because
and they picked up Cousins and Wesley Matthews, and they've been playing good for Milwaukee too. So
yeah.
and they got DiVincenzo back, so they
Hmm.
they fully loaded over there in Milwaukee. Won't
Yeah,
lie to you. So Brooklyn, I will say the East did get better. So
a lot
it's gonna be
better.
nice
Yeah,
matchup. It's gonna be nice
we
matchups
gonna
with the
see
Bulls.
Cleveland in the playoffs probably.
That's
That's
crazy.
weird.
The only issue with Cleveland is I don't feel like they have like that. You need a shot at the end of the game. Someone can just take it. I don't feel like Colin Sexton hurt right now, so I don't feel like they really have that. They just got
And
three
then
really good
Rubio
bigs
got hurt.
they just got three really good bigs who are good on defensive end. Mobley probably getting rookie of the year. I will say that.
Mm,
And Jared Allen, we know what he could do in Brooklyn. So him in Cleveland, this ain't no surprise. That's what I feel like Brooklyn need right now. But
yeah,
uh, they have to do what they have to do to get James Harden. But we gonna switch the topic right quick. So Lakers beat the Wolves yesterday in a close game, but I think Westbrook had I want to believe he had 9 he had a certain amount of turnovers both had halftime. I think it was 9. But I think he had 9 in
mm,
total at the end of the game.
mm.
So looking at all the Lakers issues, do you think they should get rid of Russ or then get something back, or do you think it's somebody else you think they should get rid of, like Anthony Davis? I know his name was brought up a couple of times because injury prone. Certain role players not stepping up. So what you think about that?
I have no clue. I I mean, of course, everybody wants to see LeBron in the playoffs. You know, it's we all can admit, you know, watching LeBron in the playoffs, we kind of take it for granted. Um, you know, so of course, everybody wants LeBron to make playoffs. Yeah, I'm not sure with this one because it's like you trade Russ, but who wanna take him on their team? Um, do the Lakers got draft picks to throw in with the trade with Russ? And then Anthony Davis, like you said, he injury prone. He just hasn't looked like the Anthony Davis I'm was used to seeing in New Orleans. He kind of slowed down. Um, his shot his shot is okay. Of course, Anthony Davis on defensive end is like one of the top three defensive, centers, power forwards in the league. He just hasn't been consistent at all, and then maybe that's due to like him be getting injured. So I mean, if you the Lakers organization, you kind of worried because it's like you seen what happened when they missed LeBron that one season when he had that injury, and it wasn't good. And then they had both of them on the floor, him and AD, and they end up winning the ring. And then now you bring Russ in, and it's not working. So I mean, some trades definitely need to happen, and it all started with LeBron. They got to look at LeBron and like, what do you want to do? Like, you want to ride it out with injured Anthony Davis every other day and Russell Westbrook. But at the same time, like I said, who would take Russ? It's a couple of teams that would take Anthony Davis because of everything he could do on offense and defense. But it's like, what type of Anthony Davis are you getting? And it's like Anthony Davis was supposed to be the guy that take over when LeBron finally retired. So you're gonna trade away your future franchise player. So it's a tricky situation. Um, as a Lakers fan, it probably sucked because you have no idea what they're gonna do, and people want them to be in the playoffs, and people still had them as the favorites to win the whole thing. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation. I would hate to be Rob Pelinka right now. Um, because he gonna have to make some decisions. And LeBron not getting any younger. Anthony Davis is, he in and out the lineup, and the Westbrook thing is not working. Obviously, they kicking themselves in the back because they wish they would have got DeRozan from the Bulls.
Yeah, a lot of people think Buddy Hield might have been a better option right now too, but who
Anybody
knows?
else probably would have been a better option. So
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of problem with the Lakers right now. And then I seen what was it yesterday? I think where the Lakers were struggling rebounding. Dwight Howard didn't play. I don't think any minutes last night. So I think at some point we got to look at Frank Vogel and be like what is you doing?
but is it
Like
really Frank? Is it really Frank though? Because
I mean,
he ain't really had like a full team at full strength. He had but I mean, of course, the coach is gonna get scrutinized because he's supposed to be a defensive minded coach, and they haven't really played good on defense. But like I said, Trevor Ariza been in that lineup. I think he just came back. They had a couple other players that was injured. So, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, it's all gonna be about like what LeBron want to do. If he feel like he could win, I mean, of course he gonna stay, and they just gonna ride it out. I don't know if LeBron wants to just finish his career in LA. I don't know if he got his mind made up, or he may want to go somewhere else. You never know with LeBron. So
yeah,
I
and then
mean, but
you see him
they
talking
all
about
just signed extensions, I think. So
yeah. So and then you see him talking about what he might play until his son get in the league. So you never know whatever team he go to. LeBron might try
right.
to go to. So you never
Mm-hmm.
know. But we finna change the topic right quick. So I seen this the other day. Someone said Ja Morant might be the second best point guard in the league. Right now. I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think he's top 3 right now? And the Memphis right now is 23-14. They're fourth in the West. So I'm gonna let you talk.
Um. Well, basketball in the NBA specifically, it's become like positionless. So it's like, who are we putting in the point guard category? Is Luka a point guard? Because they have him listed as a point guard, not a shooting guard. Um, so as far as like top 3, I mean, Ja is up there probably top 10. I wouldn't say top 3. You still got Steph, you got Chris Paul, you got um, Kyrie. Ja is definitely up there. He's improving. The only thing with Ja for me, as far as his game goes, is becoming a better shooter. He
Yeah,
becomes a better shooter. Not saying that he can't knock a couple of them down now, but if he becomes a more consistent shooter, he gonna be one of the scariest players to guard in the NBA because he's so
yeah,
athletic. He kind of used that D Rose and Russell Westbrook athleticism. He could finish at the rim. So I wouldn't say he's top 3 right now, but he's definitely a rising superstar in this league.
yeah. And it's possible he might actually make the All-Star team this year, maybe a starter. We're gonna see how that happens, but I think he'd for sure make an All-Star team this year. Look like,
Yeah, I
but
don't know about starter though. I don't know about
I
starter.
mean only because they the fourth in the West, but I don't think he's gonna be a starter. I think he's gonna
Mm,
probably be coming out the bench, but
yeah,
hey, he gonna be an All-Star this year. But
yeah, he as he should.
all right, so we're gonna talk about the most disappointing teams so far this season, and we're gonna talk about the most surprising teams. So I want you to pick so for each conference, I want you to pick the most disappointing team and explain why, and I want you to pick the most surprising team and explain why. And you choose
Okay, so
each
since
for
we
each
talking
conference.
since we talking about the East, the most surprising would be Cleveland. Nobody said Cleveland would be this good. That's why I say that. Cleveland is really good in the paint. Of course, they got Mobley, the rookie. Then they got Allen down there, and it's hard to score in the paint for most teams. They could rebound, block shots. Mobley could shoot a little mid range. So they've been playing good basketball. The only concern now is Ricky Rubio getting hurt. He out for the season. They traded for Rondo, so Rondo could still get him that playmaking. Rubio is just a little bit. I guess he's a little bit bigger. Rubio also good on defense and passing ball. Rubio's shot has gotten a lot better, and that's what has been underrated about his game because he wasn't a consistent shooter. He became a better shooter, and then now he's a better scorer. So he was helping him off the bench. So hopefully Rondo can keep the playmaking going and make up some of the scoring. But yeah, Cleveland for sure has definitely been the most surprising team. The most disappointing team, I would have to look. I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I don't have all the teams listed in front of me, so I may forget. Can you pull some of the teams up in the East? Can you
Yeah, I
pull the
got you.
NBA.com up for me so I can see it on the screen?
So you started with the Eastern Conference. So
Yeah.
Bulls, Nets, Bucks, Heat, Cavaliers, Sixers, Hornets, Wizards, Celtics, Raptors, Knicks, Hawks, Pacers, Magic, and Pistons.
So I would say the Knicks, only because the Knicks were in the playoffs, and I feel like they went in free agency and they got players to make up for their scoring, and it hasn't panned out for them really.
Right.
They haven't been scoring the ball well. As of lately, Kemba's been playing better. Fournier kind of has taken like a little back seat. In the beginning of the season, he was shooting a lot. Now he's not. The Knicks are just supposed to be better than what they are. They should be at least top 5 off their defense alone, and they're not. And the scoring's not working. So, um, it's like I feel like Thibodeau's getting them to play hard, but they just not producing
Right.
enough on the offensive end. So I think for in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks are the biggest disappointment for me.
Okay, and now I want you to go to the Western Conference, the most surprising team, and then the most disappointing team.
Um, the most surprising. Go down the list for me for the West. You got it up. Cool. Cause trying to think off the top of my head, the most surprising team. It could be a mix of both of a lot of things. Golden State could be surprising because they didn't have Clay, so it's like the Warriors not having Clay. You expected them to play good, but I don't think people expected them to be this good without Clay. So Warriors is definitely one of the teams. Um, you can also throw in Utah's been about the same. Who else? Denver has been about the same. They waiting for Murray to come back. Phoenix has been around the same. They haven't. It was really no surprises with that team. I think the most disappointing team, as far as the Western Conference go, will probably be the Lakers, because the Lakers are supposed to be like the top 3 teams in the West, and they're not. And even though AD is injured, Westbrook, AD, and LeBron still play games together, and it still didn't look good when they were all on the floor. So for the West, I would probably say the Lakers are the biggest disappointment. But it's like you want them to find some way to improve because we all want to see LeBron in the playoffs. You just kind of don't know what direction they're gonna go. It's like the Lakers are in a tough spot as far as salary, draft picks, and stuff like that. So it's gonna be hard to move certain players. And it's like if you trade Westbrook or Anthony Davis, who do you go get?
Yeah. and then and then like right now, if the playoffs started, they'll be in the playing tournament. So, and then you
Yeah,
have a
and that's
team
win or
like
go home.
you got a team like Dallas, like with Luca, like that can, I mean, they can shock you, push you down to the eighth seed.
That's another team I wanted to put on there too, Dallas, as far as a disappointment. But it's like, what did we really expect Dallas to be? I expected them to be better than what they are. Especially with Jason Kidd being the new coach, I thought, it was gonna be a better relationship between him and Luca, and they was gonna find a way to move the ball better, get Porzingis involved.
Which they
And
have, man. Porzingis
they
has been
have
playing
been,
better,
but it doesn't look any better.
but
It looks like the same Dallas team from last year.
but that's the point. It is the same Dallas team. I mean, if when we was talking about free agency over the summer, who did Dallas pick up to possibly make their team better? They ain't picked nobody up. They probably picked up a
Mm.
couple of shooters like Reggie Bullock or somebody, but after losing to the Clippers last year in the playoffs, I would have hoped they would have got Luka like another player, like a little maybe a star caliber player over there in Dallas. But other than hiring Jason Kidd and getting a couple of shooters to go around Luka, Dallas really ain't pick up nobody to get better to beat these teams. So it is the same Dallas team as far as I'm concerned. Porzingis might be playing a little better, but he's still kind of injury
Well,
prone.
that sounds like a management issue.
Yeah, I feel like it's, and they just got a new GM, so
Well, he gonna have
he
to do
needs.
something.
I think what they're gonna do is let it play out and see who to get rid of. Kind of like the Bulls did when they hired they GM. They just let that team ride out last year, see who to get rid of.
But
But
you see. So as far as the Bulls situation, everybody now sees how important it is to have a good GM, a good president of operations, and a good head coach. That makes a difference in an organization. The Bulls were just had Zach LaVine and Kobe, and they was just scoring, and it was just okay to watch. But when they brought in the new GM and new president, they're like the president. No, the general manager was cool with DeRozan, and that was one of the reasons why DeRozan came to the Bulls. Just off their relationship alone, he decided to come to Bulls, even though he did want to go to LA. We all know he wanted to go play in LA because that's where he's from. But stuff like that makes a difference in the organization, and now you can see they're reaping the benefits of new management and new head coach. So
yeah, so I'm gonna go right quick. So
mhm.
I would agree with you with Cleveland. I think they most surprising team.
Yeah.
They get, like I said, they got Mobley, Jared Allen. They got a lot of size down there. Kevin Love been playing actually very good this season.
What?
Um,
I ain't really been seeing.
Kevin Love been hooping though. Darius Garland been hooping. I've been seeing that. They just got Rondo in that trade, so and Rubio tore his ACL, so I think
Mm-hmm.
they kind of refilled that role of that point guard who can set up their
Mm-hmm.
off, which I think it would be good for them because like Moby and Jared Allen off screens with Rondo. I think that would be good for them. They have like a
Mm-hmm.
real guard who can assist. The most disappointing team in the East, I'm about to go with the Hawks. They the 12th seed right now, 16 and 19. Uh, I think lately they've been dealing with health and safety protocols, but I mean, even at the beginning of the season, they started kind of slow. This is the team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year against the Bucks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think outside of Trey Young, the only issue I really have with the Hawks is I feel like they don't really have that second scorer, like that second star. I'm
They
not
got a
taking
lot of scores. I mean, John
they do,
Collins
but
is definitely they second go to. And they have a lot of shooters.
I mean they've
So
been having injuries with Gallinari and them, so I mean they could become better. They got a lot of injuries right now, but
maybe they can be better on the defensive end. I mean, offensively, they can score the ball, but defensively, can they stop teams?
yeah. And then I, like I was gonna go with the Celtics at first, but um, the Hawks are lower seed than them. Boston number 9, but Boston kind of been wishy washy this season too.
I ain't even bring up Boston because I'm just like, I didn't really expect much from Boston.
Yeah,
I mean, they should be better than what they are, but I didn't expect it. After them in the playoffs last year. I really didn't expect much because they haven't really made any big changes for me as far as they lineup go. Like them
yeah,
and the Lakers are in the same boat right now as far as should they trade so and so and so and so if they want to become, you know, try to be close to contention.
right. So I'm moving to the Western Conference right now. So the most surprising team, the Memphis Grizzlies. They the 4th seed right now in the West.
Why was that
Uh,
surprising to you?
it's surprising because the last couple of years they've been kind of like on that borderline trying to get into the playoffs.
They was
Last year they
good
did.
last year though.
I mean, last year they made the playoffs, but I think I want to believe they was outside of the AFC, but then they won their way into it. That's what I think happened. They beat the
I
they beat
I I expected Memphis to be good. They were good last season. They definitely showed me something in the playoffs. Josh Shot has improved a little bit this year, so I wouldn't say they're the most surprising team to go
I
against
mean
your opinion.
I mean surprising more as being a 4th seed. Like if you would have asked me, do I see Memphis ahead of Denver, the Clippers, the Lakers, or even the Mavericks? I probably would have said no. But that's why I meant by surprise. They kind of surprised me being in the 4th seed right now.
Mm.
Um, the most disappointing team. I'm gonna have to go with the Portland Trailblazers. They 13-22 right now. It's been a kind of big discussion all year long. Damian Lillard really hasn't been playing the same. But I necessarily can't blame him because kind of like the same situation with Dallas. What did Portland do to get any better? And they did fire their GM too earlier this season. So
I feel
they
like Portland has wasted Dame's talent,
they
and
have
he needs to go. He needs to
yeah.
go. Like they had plenty of opportunities to put better teammates around him, and they just haven't done. They got CJ, but it's like at one point you want to keep Dame and CJ. Like they Portland has to do something to get them at least back in the playoff conversation. They're not even looking like a playoff team right now. I don't know if it's Chauncey taking over, so they're supposed to be better on defense. They haven't been better on defense. So I think if they were to make a trade CJ for Ben maybe, or trade CJ and get some better defensive players and try to keep yourself in games. Is they not even looking like a they're not even looking like a playoff team right now. And the past couple seasons, they was up in the playoffs and they had Terry Scott still as their coach. They was scoring the ball. Their thing was they just wasn't good on defense. Now they fire him and get Chauncey, who's supposed to be more defensive minded. It just hasn't been looking good for his first season as the head coach. Not saying that they should get rid of him or anything, but the GM and the coach, they have to figure out what direction they want to go in. They have to sit down with Lillard and feel like, you want to stay or what do you want to do? Because I mean, I don't know why they're having such a hard time making moves. Like it's like they haven't traded. Like they did that trade with Toronto they traded Powell for Powell and gave up Trent when Trent was playing good. And that move kind of was a momentum change for me. Even though Powell is good, um, I don't know. It's just why was that a move that was necessary to make? And that move hasn't even panned out to what they thought it was.
Yeah, I think because how I think of it is they like when they traded for Powell, that what you just said that wasn't the right. I feel like that wasn't the right trade in the moment of time. The
Yeah, and I
Trailblazers,
mean they was like the same player at the time.
Yeah, and it's not even that though. It's more of they're trading for what they want than what they need.
Yeah.
Like Powell probably was a better scorer, and they asked, better like a little bit better offensive player. But what's wrong with the Portland Trailblazers? Well, last year and this year still they almost dead last in defensive efficiency. So they always been one of the worst defensive teams. I think that's really what been their issue.
I mean, Dame deserves better. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know how else to put it. Like you kind of feel bad for him. I mean, it's just like he was left in Portland to die.
and it's like the
I
fans
don't
can't
know.
get mad at this point if he
You
want to
hope.
trade. Like,
Of course he wants.
my brother cut off.
I'm not
But
sure. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the thought process is as far as Portland going. Like, do the GM sit down and feel like they're a good team that they're gonna win a championship? That team not even close to even being in the conversation. So now it's like, what do you do? How long do you hang on with CJ and Dame and try to keep that thing going?
yeah, we've been talking about we was talking about over the summer with Jules. Everybody that's on the show like is Dame and CJ a fit? Kind of like in Boston right now is Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum a fit? You know, so
See, now that's now that you just said that, that gave me an idea. So what do you think about Boston trading Jalen Brown for CJ McCollum and Portland getting Jalen Brown and then CJ going to Boston?
I
I
actually
feel
think
like
that's a good trade.
I feel like CJ kind of complements Tatum a little bit because CJ could play off the ball and he could spot up. Not saying Jalen Brown can't, but he could complement Tatum a little bit better. And then Jalen Brown, he complements Lillard because he's a better defensive player. They need
Exactly.
defense on the wing. And Brown he can get a ball to Brown and Brown can score and Lillard don't have to like not saying CJ can't score every possession, but he Portland would be getting a better defensive player in Brown and Boston would be getting a better complementary player with CJ.
I
That's how I
I,
see
I
it.
definitely agree because Tatum Tatum is an underrated defender. When I watch Boston play some games, he is a good defender, and I feel like games like specifically when Tatum doesn't have it going, I think CJ will be good, and Jalen Brown can score too, but I feel like CJ McCollum can play off ball too, kind of like a spot up shooter almost in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and he can
Yeah.
create too. So I think that'll be
Yeah.
better, and I think Dame needs a two guard that can defend as well as score, which
But
Jalen.
even though I say all that, I don't think Boston still is in the conversation or Portland. Because I mean they'll get Jalen Brown, which is a good defense player, but Portland would still need to upgrade the center position, the power forward position.
Yeah,
Boston would
they
still
got a lot
need
to do.
to yeah, Boston would still need to get a point guard, which they desperately need. And Boston would also need to look at the center position for them as well. So it still holds in both those teams. It's just, the structure of moving those players around right now is just kind of wishy-washy right now. I think both teams need to make a move along with the Sixers. I think they need to just go ahead and trade Ben Simmons. They need to move him. The Kings, they fired Luke Walton. The Kings could trade some pieces and try to get better. It's a lot of teams that need to be active at the trade deadline and not be scared about, you
So
know,
what team do you believe needs to make the biggest move right now?
well, right now it will probably be the Lakers because I mean the Lakers got the most to gain by making a good move at trade deadline. Unless they want to stick it out they feel like they can stick it out with Davis when he get back and Westbrook is going to play better. Then I guess they can stick it out with them. But I mean, if you the Lakers, why not make a move? Because it's like LeBron at 37. Like I said, he's not getting any younger. So you should just try to improve now while some people still have value. Because the longer you let Westbrook play like this, his value is going to decrease. I also think behind them is probably the Sixers because of Ben Simmons, and he's still
I'm
one of the
surprised they
best
didn't
defensive
trade him
players.
yet. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's
it's
like
not
they trying to
hard.
prolong it. Just get that over with, and
You could possibly make your team better with what you get back, maybe, depending on what you get
yeah, I
back.
mean, even if they was to get CJ, I mean, CJ is a better shooter than Ben Simmons, so they already getting the scoring. You're not gonna they have to come to the fact that you're not gonna replace Ben Simmons' defense. It's not gonna happen. It's not too many
Yeah.
players who are 6'10" can guard every
And
position.
I feel like that's what Dame needs right now. He needs like an elite defensive player, and not
Mm-hmm.
only that, but Ben Simmons can take the ball out of Dame's hands.
Well,
Dame.
that's what I'm saying. If the Blazers don't get Ben Simmons, go out, try to pry Jaylen Brown. Try to give up CJ for Jaylen Brown. But Boston and Portland are right under the Lakers and I can't remember what other team I said before them. Oh, Lakers, Sixers, and then Portland. Portland and Boston is under that, yeah. So Lakers,
Yes.
Sixers, Portland, and Boston. But
Yes.
Lakers number one.
Okay, that's interesting. And once the All Star break kind of get near, I think we're gonna start seeing more trades. Well, after the All Star break, I
We
think the trade.
should. I mean, if Portland wants to go to playoffs, they got to make some moves. If the Lakers want to be in the playoffs, they got to make some moves. Boston, I don't. I think their season is kind of like a wash. They just not playing good basketball right now. So even if they was to trade, does it get them in the playoffs? I don't know. They would have to make a run. And yeah, the Sixers. I mean, how long do y'all want to have a player like Ben Simmons just stashed, and then y'all just keep winning and losing games? I mean, they've been winning because the NBA been playing well, and
Yeah,
Seth and Tobias Harris all been playing good. But are y'all gonna win a championship with that team? No, you need that other player. So why waste all this time and waste precious chemistry time that they could be building with the new player that y'all should trade Ben Simmons for?
yeah, and I feel like a team like you see a team like Milwaukee in the playoffs. I think Ben Simmons probably can't completely stop Giannis, but he'll do a decent enough job to that. Like that's a solid matchup. I mean,
Giannis
he
is
is
just hard to guard, period. He's like
yeah,
Giannis is almost unguardable besides him shooting. But it's like even if you sag in the paint, Giannis gonna drive anyway. I mean, because he's taller than you, he's longer than you, he's athletic. Like he's just all around just a player that's hard to guard.
for sure, for sure. But we're gonna move to the last question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to name your All Star starters right now in each conference. The West.
Ooh,
We're gonna start with the East, and then we're gonna move to the Western Conference. So just name your top 5 starters. Right.
man. Make sure you keep track for me because I may forget. Um, so Kevin Durant, um, Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, and Giannis. That's 5, right? Yeah, I think that's 5. So Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Joel. And then for the West, um, of course, it's going to be Steph. I think LeBron's still going to be in there. Uh, Jokic is going to be up there. And then you got to throw somebody from the Suns. It's a toss-up between Devin Booker or Chris Paul. And then let me think. I think Luka will probably still make it there just off his name alone. As far as popularity goes, like you said, Ja could maybe scratch the surface, but I still think Ja probably come off the bench though. So those my five. Steph, Booker or Chris Paul, LeBron, Jokic, and I forgot one. Who did I say?
You said Steph, LeBron, Jokic. You
Booker or
said
Chris Paul?
Luka. Yeah,
Oh,
Luka.
Luka. Yeah.
Okay. So for the East, I gotta completely agree with you. That's gonna be they start. That I think that's gonna be the starting five for real. That
I don't see how you pick any five over them.
like you can't.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't. And the fact Levine, the crazy thing, if Levine and DeRozan will make it, I know for a fact they will, because I don't know. Like, when's the last time somebody ever seen, like, during the regular season, two players average 26 a game and shooting it consistently, like a night, like it's an every night thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with the East. The West, Steph, obviously, LeBron, Jokic. I could throw Rudy Gobert in there. I know some
You
people like
could.
that, but he lead the league in rebounds, defensive plan. You can argue that, maybe Rudy Gobert, and I'm gonna have to throw John there with Steph. The Suns, I don't know. Devin Booker kind of been out a decent amount of games.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you got to pick somebody from Phoenix because I mean
Ja,
they
it's
second.
gonna be between Ja or one of them guys in Phoenix
Probably
for
Chris
that.
Paul. Chris Paul will probably
Yeah,
be the
it
one.
might be Chris Paul could make that starting lineup, but Ja. The only reason I picked Ja is because he been putting up bigger numbers, like putting up 40, putting up 30, like.
I mean,
And
like I said, I could see Ja maybe in there. I just feel like the nods will go to Chris Paul because his team been winning more games.
yeah,
But I mean, Ja gonna make the All-Star team regardless. So as long as he
he
make
gonna
it,
make it
I
regardless.
don't think he's gonna care about being the starter.
Yeah, I know Paul George been out for a while, but if he wasn't, I would say he would be in there. Because the Clippers was, up there first, and then when he got hurt, they kind of declined a little bit. Yeah, that's our starting fives right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, those pretty good lineup. I don't know what that says,
I don't know what that says either.
but yeah, I think the East is self-explanatory as far as the lineup go. The West is still kind of like a toss-up, I think, but Jokic, LeBron, and Steph are gonna make the team for sure. Who makes that other forward and guard position? I don't know. That's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, but we gonna end the show off right there. Thanks for everybody for who came out today, or will be seeing this video later on today, or it's gonna upload after we actually get done ending it. But we gonna be more consistent. Hopefully we'll have another show to y'all by like next Saturday, I believe. It's 2022. Like I said, we ready to take that next step.
And it's been a crazy
interesting,
but weird NBA season. It's still been
yes.
good. COVID has kind of slowed down as far as like the momentum of some teams. Injuries have been coming up on some teams. So hopefully after the All-Star break, COVID kind of slows down, and some of these players from injury supposed to come back. Like Jamal Murray is close to coming back.
That's
Klay
gonna be
Thompson is
interesting too.
Klay Thompson is close to coming back, and Golden State is already good. Will Miami get Bam back soon? So it's some teams to still be on the watch for as far as like injuries go this season. It should be a good finish to the season, though. This is like been one of the best seasons in a while as far as like certain teams playing to their potential and having some surprising teams like the Bulls and Cleveland, and so it's been fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we finna end the show off here. Like I said, y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and we will see y'all soon.
All right, till next time.